welcome back to Real Reviews. This is Cody Williams, and we're here to talk about the movie Jurassic World Dominion. This movie is the newest sequel that is also the thrilling conclusion to the Jurassic Park saga. This movie holds a close spot to my heart because who doesn't love dinosaurs, am I right? Even though I will admit that the series does have diminishing returns in quality after the first film with each new sequel. The first movie is lightning in a bottle perfect, and no other sequel has ever measured up to it. I do enjoy The Lost World and Jurassic Park 3 to an extent, but they're just alright. The series kind of returned to form with the first Jurassic World, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Its sequel, Fallen Kingdom, on the other hand, let's just say that I enjoy the first half of the movie, then the other half is just downright terrible. With that in mind, I'm not expecting too much out of this new sequel, but I'm also willing to give it a chance. Before we get any further, let's talk about the movie. The movie story follows 4 years after the destruction of Isla Nublar. Dinosaurs now live and hunt alongside humans all over the world. This fragile balance will reshape the future and determine once and for all where human beings are to remain the apex predators on a planet they now share with history's most fearsome creatures in a new era. Yeah. This movie was just alright at best. I had fun with this new sequel, don't get me wrong, but I just wasn't overly fascinated with it either. Was it a great book into the series? Sure, I'll give it that. However, I do have some grievances about this movie I do want to get off my chest. But first, let's talk about the many awesome things that the sequel delivers, whether it be the exhilarating dinosaur action scenes, the long-awaited reunion of the original team, neat-looking cinematography, and some really cool-looking special effects. As another entry in the Jurassic Park series, clearly the best thing about this new sequel is what anyone could guess. Come on, guess. The dinosaurs! We've got more of them this time around, and they are more scarier than ever. There are some great pulse-pounding intense scenes here and there involving some dinosaurs that have never been seen in the other movies. As a giant geek for dinosaurs in general, I found this movie to be absolutely splendid. The movie's main selling point for me was seeing the return of the classic stars from the movie that started it all. It was a blast seeing Sam Neill as Alan Grant once again, along with Jeff Goldblum as Ian Malcolm, and also Laura Dern as Ellie Sattler. I was so happy that their characters were reduced down to cameo appearances and had fully developed roles in the story. As much as I do like Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard from this film and the other two Jurassic World movies, I just seem to have a much more better connection with the original stars. Either way, everyone in this movie did a fantastic job. When it comes to the visuals, this movie has some cool composition shots, and the camera work involved was really exquisite looking. I don't know how much practical effects were utilized for the dinosaurs themselves, but if it was all done with CGI, then color me impressed because it looked gosh dang good. Now we're at the point of the review where I get to talk about the bad things. Oh boy, where do I even start? First off, this movie had no right being 2 hours and 30 minutes long. The pacing was so egregiously boring, it's ridiculous. There's so much fat around the edges that could have been trimmed off the movie to make it more effectively concise and still convey the same message. This may be a spoiler, so if you want to avoid it, drop a like and come back later. Alrighty, here we go. I'm flabbergasted that the story revolves around genetically modified locusts in a frickin' Jurassic World movie. Why? Why? I just don't understand why they couldn't keep the story about dinosaurs. As far as the script goes, it is pretty clunky. All the events that happen throughout the movie all seem too convenient, making the film lose any sense of danger for all of the characters. Spoilers again, but as I was watching the movie towards the last act or so, I noticed something that kinda seemed all too familiar. If you're a gamer, you will know. But it just felt reminiscent of Resident Evil 2 as they retrieved a blood sample of the modified locust from a laboratory escaped in a bullet train looking thing, and had a final showdown with a Gigantosaurus. They thought nobody would notice, but we did. That about seems to cover everything that I didn't like about the movie. Other than that, sure, it was enjoyable, I guess. One last thing that's worth mentioning is that there are plenty of callbacks and references to the first Jurassic Park that I actually enjoyed. Does that save the movie from being not so great? Not really. I really wanted to enjoy this movie, but ultimately, there are drawbacks. Overall, Jurassic World Dominion can be perceived by many as a mixed bag. While there is some amazing dinosaur action going on throughout, the writing department really suffers in originality and could have been a whole lot better than what it was. I don't downright hate the movie, nor do I absolutely love it. If anything, this film is just a smidge above average at best. I give this movie a C+. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel to keep up with my real reviews.